Wrestling live from Takeover. Motherfucker.
Watching Taylor Talks live from Michigan.
Talks Wrestling.
Like, comment, subscribe, or be infected.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tiger Talks Wrestling. It's been a while. Anyway, today I'm here for an NXT Takeover in your house prediction show. It's been a while since I've done a prediction show of any sort because of everything that's going on in the world, and I didn't know how much people were really watching or paying attention to wrestling, to be honest, with the COVID-19 and all that going on. But I wanted some content put out for anybody to watch that decides to, whether it be now while I'm live or later afterwards. Not that I'll get any comments from anybody if they do watch it later, but that's besides the point. Anyway, as most people that will possibly watch know, NXT TakeOver is live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, only on WWE Network. And I'm going to go over the 6 matches that they've got and give my predictions as to who I think will win. I'll be back on the air next week, probably Saturday at some point, Saturday night, maybe around, it might be around this time or a little later, we'll see. I think, I work 9 to 4 next Saturday, so to give my predictions for Backlash next Sunday. So be on the lookout for that. Besides that, I've got, when NUW gets up and going again, the next time we'll have an NUW post show, so I have to speak. NUW show will be after Fight for Freedom 2 at some point. I didn't realize how much my face is breaking out from wearing a mask all the time. Anyway, that's besides the point. Let's get the show on the road, shall we? So we're going to kick things off. NXT TakeOver in your house with this match, as you got the Prince, Finn Balor, going one-on-one with Damian Priest, who wants to make himself a household name, pretty much, who wants to live forever. But if you ask me, he's picked the wrong man to live forever off of. Why you would target Finn Balor? And Finn Balor's win-loss record is probably better than anybody when it comes to NXT takeovers. It's beyond me. But Damian Priest feels like he needs to make a name for himself, and he thinks that Finn Balor's the person to defeat to get that name made for himself. This has been a different side of Finn Balor that we've seen recently in NXT, and it's a more dangerous Finn Balor. A lot of people have said it's more like the Finn Balor of old from New Japan. I mean, as mentioned, he's more dangerous, and he hasn't gotten his hands on Damian Priest since Priest assaulted him a couple weeks ago on NXT. So, after what we've seen him do to Matt Riddle, what he's done to Imperium, what he's done to Johnny Gargano more recently, I definitely got to pick Finn Balor to walk out the victor here. It'll be a hard-hitting match. These two will have a knock him out, drag him out brawl, I'm sure. But in the end, I think a 1916 is in the future for Damian Priest. And then Finn Balor will probably move on from that rivalry back into his rivalry with Walter, the NXT United Kingdom champion, is where I figure he'll probably go. Whether or not this is a one and done for this feud, who knows? site I'm looking at, it looks like a lot of people are saying they think Finn Balor would win. But we'll see. Next is a match that was just made this past week on NXT, a 6-woman tag team match. You got Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Knox facing off against their former friends, friend Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. This is going to be an interesting 6-woman tag match. And I know I say I'm a lot, so I'll just be used to it. Get used to it. It's been a very different Candice LeRae that we've seen as of late. Purple hair, the purple lipstick, the whole getup, the new entrance, the Johnny Gargano way. It's kind of paid off a little bit for her. She did pick up the win in the mixed tag match this past week on NXT over Mia and Keith Lee. It's just interesting to see this transformation for Candice LeRae. I believe he might be looking to have her become the top heel, perhaps, in NXT since Shayna Baszler's gone, and I don't think Charlotte Flair is going to be around for very long in NXT, to be honest. But we'll see with that. Man, I think Shotzi and Mia and Tegan could really use a win here. However, I got to go with Candice LeRae keeping up her momentum, and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez helping her with that, and I'm going with the heels to pick up the Duke in this 6-woman tag match. We all know the history of Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Shotzi Blackheart just joining that, but I just think it's going to be the heels picking up the Duke. It is unconventional for a takeover as I'm reading what some of these staffs are picking for this. Should be a very fun 6-woman tag match. Looks like 2 of the 3 pick team Yin to win, but that's not the way I'm going. The next match we go into is the North American Championship match. You got the champion, Limitless Keith Lee, going one-on-one with the new and not so improved, or improved, whichever way you want to look at it, Johnny Gargano, with the Johnny Gargano way. Johnny's built up a lot of momentum lately since ending the feud with Tommaso Ciampa with a little help from Candice, of course, in a cup, defeating Tommaso, and then going into this new version of Johnny Gargano we've seen. And it's very interesting and unique to see this side of Johnny Gargano. We've seen him as a heel before for a brief period of time, but that was with Tommaso Ciampa. That was quite different than this version of Johnny Gargano as a heel. On the flip side, you got Keith Lee, the Limitless one, who's been fighting tooth and nail to try and bring prestige to that North American Championship. He's been beating all comers. He's got victories over Damian Priest. He's beaten Killian Dane. He's beaten Dominic Dijakovic. He's beaten several other big men and other people I'm sure I'm forgetting. He's gotten victories over, got a victory over Cameron Grimes as well to retain that title. Keith Lee's been on a American Championship. Now, we did see Johnny Gargano took a couple cheap shots pretty much at Keith Lee this past Wednesday night on NXT. And Johnny also had his hands on the North American title, gave it a little kiss, like he's going to win it. But I think it's going to be too soon for Johnny to take that North American title. I'd be okay with seeing him as North American champion again. However, I just feel I just feel Keith Lee is going to walk out still North American champion. Let's see the staff picks. One says Lee retains. Another says Lee and Gargano are going to Taylor House down in this one. I've got the champ retaining here. Another says there will be shenanigans, I figure. Figure Candice and Neil get involved. Still, whatever happens, expecting Keith Lee to win. Retain. One person says Johnny Gargano sneaking out a win, and the other three say they think Keith Lee is going to win. So I guess I'm not in the minority. I'm in the majority there. And I think Keith Lee will take the victory as well. This match is going to be quite interesting to watch. I'll be honest, I haven't really watched a whole lot of Killer Cross's work before he came to NXT. I heard of him. Might have seen a little bit of it, but I didn't really watch TNA when he was in there. Scarlett, I've seen her in Ring of Honor, I want to say, at some points. She's, of course, not going to be much of a factor. She's just outside the ring, but she still can get involved. You never know. But anyway, the match being, of course, Karrion Kross in his TakeOver debut with Scarlett in his corner, going up against Tommaso Ciampa in what should be a very intriguing, interesting, hard-hitting affair. After losing to Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa could really use a victory here. However, I just don't see that happening. These two men will fight tooth and nail. They'll take each other to their limits. But in the end, I just feel like it's way too soon to have Karrion Kross pick up a loss in his career in NXT. I know they got big plans. I've seen they've got big plans for him in NXT. So I just think Karrion Kross is going to pick up a win. Maybe if Tommaso Ciampa does lose here, it's time to move over to Raw or SmackDown. There's not much else really for. Doesn't even reclaim the NXT championship. He loses here, he shouldn't be in the contention for it, in my opinion, anytime soon. What would be the point in having him go after the North American title, even though he's never held it? I don't think there's really anything left for Tommaso Ciampa in NXT. I mean, I know him and Johnny are kind of the NXT stalwarts, so as to speak. They've been there for a long, long time. But I think it's time for Ciampa to move over to Raw or SmackDown and get some new challenges, some new fights. I know Matt Riddle moved over to SmackDown, and Ciampa's been around longer than he in NXT, and I think Ciampa could do big things on Raw or SmackDown. But again, yes. Even though we've seen Karrion Kross has gotten the advantage for the most part in this feud over Tommaso Ciampa, I do feel Karrion Kross will win this match. So the staff from the site I'm using. One person says Kross wins. Another person says Kross wins. Then Ellie Collins says the new scary bald guy has to defeat the previous scary bald guy to prove that he's the baldest, scariest guy. Don't be wrong, if Ciampa was like an executive vice president of NXT or something, I might expect him to beat the big, scary new monster in his first pay-per-view match, but he's not. So I'm pretty sure Kross will win. All four of them picked Karrion Kross to win anyways. Now to match number 5. There's still nobody watching. Good to know. I'll take note of that. Take note of a lot of things. Unless it's got NUW attached to it, it doesn't seem like people really pay attention or care lately. But anyway, the triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship, you got Io Shirai, the former champ Rhea Ripley, and the current 12-time women's champion Charlotte Flair going at it. So, we know the history. We know at WrestleMania, Charlotte defeated Rhea Ripley, who, well, let's go back further than that. Rhea Ripley, after Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble, came to Raw, told Charlotte Flair she had a choice to make. Why not choose her, pretty much, in the NXT Women's title for WrestleMania? Rhea would get her wish, and her wish would turn into a nightmare. As Charlotte defeated Rhea Ripley, we all seen at WrestleMania. Now from there, we knew Io Shirai had won a ladder match, 6-woman ladder match, to become the number one contender for the Women's Championship. And in that match, we seen Charlotte Flair get herself intentionally disqualified by using a kendo stick on Io Shirai. That's where Rhea, of course, returned as well. So, these three women do not like each other. We've seen Rhea versus Io after that, and Charlotte got involved to make it so that we didn't get a finish. It was a great match, too, by the way. If you didn't watch it, go back a couple weeks ago on NXT and watch Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai. Thought they had one of the best women's matches in quite some time on NXT, in my opinion, until Charlotte got involved and caused a double disqualification or the no contest, whatever you want to call it. I'm expecting a lot of big things out of this triple threat match. In a way, it will be, but it won't be probably the main event. It'll be the main event of live action, as the main event was actually pre-recorded. It's already been recorded. I think this will go on just before that, so I think this will pretty much be the live main event. And I expect all three of these women to hit their finishers, their big moves, go all out. This one's a tough one to pick. Probably a lot of people going with Charlotte because she's the proven commodity, so as to speak. A lot of the women's titles have been changing hands, though. Other than the SmackDown women's title. We've seen the Raw women's title. Okay, so it wasn't by pinfall or submission. It was kind of a handed to her as she won the Money in the Bank ladder match. But Asuka won the Raw women's title. Bayley and Sasha just won the women's tag team titles on SmackDown. Charlotte won the NXT women's title at WrestleMania, as we know, as this is mentioned. That's what we're talking about. So I could see a title change here, and I think it is time for a title change here. I think that Charlotte being on Raw and NXT is a little too much exposure. Couple weeks ago, where she was on all three shows, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, that was way too much exposure. I'm sorry, Charlotte is a great athlete, but I don't want to see her through every show. But it's tough for me. I really want to see Rhea Ripley as NXT Women's Champion again. I feel like she could have done even more as a Women's Champion than what she did. However, I feel like it's Io Shirai's time. I feel like if not now, then when can you give her the NXT Women's title? Io's had so many matches for the Women's Championship, whether against Charlotte or Rhea or Shayna Baszler, and it's come up short. I just feel like she needs to win it here. The only problem is I've also seen rumors that she might be getting moved over to either Raw or SmackDown. So if she does that, then she's not going to win the NXT Women's title here, I don't feel like. But I just think they need to give it to her. Let Io run the NXT Women's division for a little while. Yeah, she can have a feud with Rhea Ripley for a little bit, and then move on from Rhea. I do want to see Rhea at some point get back in the women's title picture, but I just think Io Shirai should get it, and that's who my pick's going to be. I'm going to go with Io Shirai. Emily Pratt says she thinks Ripley will win by pinning Io, and we'll get an Io and Ripley one-on-one feud afterwards. Raj Prashard says feels like this is where Ripley's going to get the bout back. Again, I'd be fine with that. I just feel like Io should get it back. Yeah. But he also says, well, she should be the favorite, Rhea Ripley, going with Io Shirai to earn the win and get a run with the belt. So that's one for Ripley, one for Shirai. Ellie Collins says she thinks that Charlotte retains. And Scott Heitzel says a title change. Matches between all three WWE programs since and beyond sick of seeing her at this point. Thank you. Me too. We have she finished off TV into the Raw. Vic, she drops the belt here to Io Shirai. Scott Heisel agrees with Io Shirai, so they had two for Io, one for Charlotte retaining, one for Rhea winning the title. So the majority picked the same as me and went with Io winning the title. Now on to the main event. The Backlot Brawl Last Chance match. The NXT champion, Adam Cole, baby! Terrible, I know, but still. And William Regal, the general manager of NXT. If Velveteen Dream loses here, he will never get a shot again at the NXT championship as long as Adam Cole is the champion. So, that's why this is called the Last Chance Backlot Brawl. As I mentioned, this has already been previously recorded. It's taking place. I don't know who won. I haven't seen any spoilers anywhere for it. I don't know, and this is just going to be a prediction. As it's Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole for the NXT Championship in the Last Chance Backlot Brawl. So my prediction, before I read what those predictions are, Adam Cole has been NXT champion for over a year. Congrats to him. He very much so deserved it, in my opinion. Undisputed Era has been running roughshod. Greatest thing in NXT, in my opinion. Brandon. A lot of people would agree. I'm not as big of a fan of Velveteen Dream as some people are. A lot of people are. The dude's talented, yes. I'll give him that. He's only, 24 or something like that? Maybe a little younger. I could be wrong. But anyway, I'm just not completely sold on Velveteen Dream. But, with that being said, I know NXT brasses, I feel like the Undisputed Era doesn't have any other gold right now. And I almost feel like Velveteen Dream is the golden child, so as to speak, for NXT. I think that he will be the one here to take the NXT title off of Adam Cole. I don't want to see that happen, but I have a very good feeling that that's what's going to happen. Which this apparently will be a match where they have a ring circled by cars with headlights for lighting, and who knows how that'll turn out, but we'll see. Adam Cole's not going nowhere. So, their predictions, as I predicted Dream. Emily Pratt says, I'll predict that this is when they put the belt on Dream and finally sent Adam Cole up to the main roster, as they put it, but it's just moving them to Raw or SmackDown. It's all main roster now. Why can't people understand that? I digress. Raj pressured since the specific stipulation gives me the impression Cole picks up the win and continues to streak as champ. You're just coming up short last time. I think this is when Dream finally gets on top. So Pressure kind of picked both to win. Almost it seems like, but I think he's pretty much saying Dream wins. Ali Collins says, how does Adam Cole still have the belt? Not that he's been a bad champion. Feels like he's had it for a million. What the hell is she talking about? She's crazy. Nobody else in the Undisputed Era has the gold around their waist anymore. I'm like, God. And so it kind of feels like that era is over. No. If it's not Dream's time now, when will it be? Put that belt on him. So it looks like everybody is picking Velveteen Dream. Scott Heisel would say Dream has cooled off a ton in recent months. His gimmick is similar to Orange Cassidy in that it, quote-unquote, needs an audience to properly work. Without it, the whole thing feels a little forced. Danger of any other gimmick that, and I'm a fighter with long hair and a beard in the pandemic era, I suppose. Still, this seems tailor-made for Dream to win and finally ascend to the top of the mountain, freeing Cole and his cronies to get caught up to Raw and rekindle their feud with Drew McIntyre. Well, that'd be interesting. Bring back the house set and type in the cards. So the only thing, last thing I'm going to mention is it looked like everybody pretty much picked Adam Cole to lose to Velveteen Dream, including myself. I would love to be wrong and would love to see Adam Cole win, but I just don't think that'll happen. The only way I can see it possibly happening is there's been rumors that Velveteen Dream possibly could be getting called over, I'm going to say, not up, but over to the main roster, to Raw or SmackDown. And that could be good for Velveteen Dream, give him some new people to fight. It'd also be good for Undisputed Era if Adam Cole lost to have some new people to fight on any brand. We'll just wait and see what happens. So again, one quick last little mention here. Rundown of my picks. Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Team Knox getting beat by Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. I'm going with Keith Lee defeating Johnny Gargano to retain the North American title. I'm picking Tommaso Ciampa to lose to Karrion Kross. I got Io Shirai defeating Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley in the triple threat match to become the new women's champion, NXT women's champion. And I've got Velveteen Dream defeating Adam Cole in the last chance backlot brawl, where if Dream loses, he can no longer challenge for the title, while Cole is still champion. Again, the picks were Balor, LeRae, Kai, and Gonzalez, Lee, Cross, Shirai, and Dream. Now, that is for NXT TakeOver, which I'm sure will be very different to have a TakeOver without a crowd, because the crowds for TakeOvers are usually even more rambunctious and a part of the show and what they are for WWE main shows. But I still expect it to be a great show. We'll see who else in the crowd as plants, whether it's just Performance Center people or if they'll have main roster guys. I think there'll probably still be Performance Center people, but we'll see. Yeah, that's that. That will be NXT TakeOver in your house. It'll be interesting to see how their sets set up and how things turn out. Before I close out here, though, I'm going to close out with my outro. Take note, my Twitter handle has changed. It's at Tiger Talks Rest, WRES. It's not Tiger 121685 anymore. Other than that, we'll see you guys. I'll be back here. Whether or not anybody joins in, as nobody did today, be back here next Saturday for another prediction show for WWE Backlash. Thank you guys if you watch later. Appreciate it. And we'll see you then.